Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Bench Mob, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. They rep a jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I ain't taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You glad the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Bowser really, I'm just trying to tell you.
Bench Mob Podcast. What's up, bro?
Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob Ent. We have our special guest on today, Typical Tanner. As you know, on YouTube, 6.75K subscribers. Up to this point, 473,980,500 views. Joined last year, and this is all happening within a year. Shout out again for your anniversary because you joined last year, February 18th.
I appreciate it.
So your 1 year anniversary. How are you doing today, man? Thanks for taking your time out to hop on with us.
I appreciate it. I'm doing good, man. It's funny because you brought up the view count, and I had no idea what number it was. So I'm just going with the flow of things. But otherwise, man, I'm good. I appreciate you having me, and I'm excited to go through the whole thing with you.
So you got the YouTube booming, getting the views. Shoot, I even saw Dex retweeted your stuff, showed it up on his Instagram. And you got the Rams. You a Rams fan, and they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How you feeling about your Rams winning, man?
So, I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, I've been a fan since. Okay, so I know a lot of people are always like, "Oh, like, are you a new Rams fan? Are you an old Rams fan?" I've been a fan since they won the Super Bowl when I was 9. All right.
Oh,
so you can't tell a 9-year-old you can't like them because they won a Super. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. So once that happened, I just stuck with them. We've had some rough patches through that time frame, and then the last 4 or 5 years we've gotten better. I still think we should have beat the Patriots a couple of years ago, but we're not going to talk about that. That's the past. But no, I'm excited, man. As you already know, I put it all over my socials. I couldn't even tell you the amount of money I spent buying gear, like just Super Bowl gear, shirts, hats. Like I could even show you. I got hats behind me. I got jerseys on the way. So I'm excited, man.
do you think y'all are in the best position to actually repeat? You know, a lot of teams don't get the back-to-back. It's like that's a rare air. You think y'all in position?
I think so. The reason why I say that is because the powerhouse is in the AFC, right? So you got teams that are, I'm going to be very honest. There are teams that I think can beat us. Like the Chiefs, the Bills are the top 2 in the AFC that I think would give us trouble. I'm going to just be honest with you. But we don't have to get through them to get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We can get there. I don't want to say easier, but situation with Aaron Rodgers, our division is good, but I still think we have their number regardless. So I think as much as it's happy for me to say it, but I think it's easier for us to get back to the Super Bowl than it would be Cincy to get back. You know what I mean? So I think we have a very good chance.
With the offseason coming up, OBJ was huge for y'all, played a big role, came in at, halfway point during the season at the trade deadline. Y'all got Van Jefferson coming back too. OBJ's on injury now. Do you, as a Rams fan, if you're playing the GM, you Leslie, do you sign back OBJ?
100%. 100%. So reason why I say that is because Robert Woods comes back healthy. So now I know Van Jefferson was carrying the load when, Odell was new, Robert Woods went down. So he had no choice. I think he's young. I think Van Jefferson's young, and I think he has time to get better. He's good, but he has time to get better, especially around those kind of players. Cooper Kupp, Woods, Odell, Woods and Odell have been in the league for a while. Cooper Kupp hasn't, but he's obviously shown he's capable of doing what he's doing. I think we have to sign Odell back. Odell was something about him. That man's hands, doesn't matter where the ball gets thrown, he's catching the ball. Doesn't matter if he gets hit right away. That he's special. And I don't care what everyone was saying when he was on the Browns. Everyone's saying it's Baker's fault. It's the offensive coordinator's fault. Get that man the ball. How do you not get Odell the ball? Healthy Odell is scary. He has his injuries. I get that. Him having another ACL injury on the same leg and the same ACL is scary. But I still think we take the chance.
Yeah, I messed up. I said Van Jefferson. Robert Woods coming back from the injury. Now, the thing I think where you definitely have to sign him back, which is the beautiful part, and if I'm him, I'm signing back too.
Yeah.
Coming off that ACL injury, you have Cooper Kupp there. You have Robert Woods coming back, and you got Van Jefferson. Odell don't have to be
exactly
the 10 for 1-4. He don't have to do that.
He doesn't.
And every part, no matter what, especially with that team, Odell still at any point can go across and get a slant and go on 90 yards.
That's the beauty of it.
Because you got to pay attention to Kupp. You got to pay attention to Robert Woods and Van Jefferson coming. Nah. You come in.
That's what I'm saying. And even Odell, there's rumors. Obviously, it's just rumors, but he wants to resign, and he's willing to take a pay cut to come back and resign. Because I think, in my personal opinion, this is the happiest he's been playing football since like his first 2-3 years with the Giants. So that goes a long way. And I feel like ever since that whole commotion with the Giants, he left, went to the Browns. He's been in his head ever since. And now I feel like he's back to himself. And I feel like he would just make us that much better, obviously, when a full roster's back, all healthy. Yeah, who's topping our receiver core? Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. And it's talks Aaron Donald's coming back too, of course. You get Von Miller back there in the mix too. That's a team that really could repeat just off the strength of the defense. We already know what they are. That's elite. Jalen Ramsey and them boys, they elite. Shoot, y'all get Weddle come off the couch and make production. Like, that's huge. That Joker was chilling, came, and everybody was like, he not gonna be able to do nothing. He actually made an impact on the team.
Absolutely.
We got Cam Akers, Sony Michel, and you give all these weapons to Stafford. Barring health, they're my favorites going into the next season. Like, barring health, they have to be the favorites. That team is crazy.
I agree. And that's just me putting my bias aside, obviously. I think we have the most complete team to repeat. And granted, like I said, injuries aside, as long as everything goes well, knock on wood, everything, injuries aside, we stay healthy. I think we make the Super Bowl. We have a good chance of repeating. It's just like I said earlier, just got to get past the top dogs in the AFC. And like I said, I'm honest, like those two teams scare me. But when we got the players on defense that can easily wreak havoc, it can be a game changer, right? So do I think we can get there and get it done? I absolutely do so. I hope so.
Yeah, before we transition, because you mentioned those two teams, I'm still with you, the Rams, just because of the defense. Like,
correct.
Chiefs and the Bills ain't really known for having lock-up defenses.
Correct.
And I don't see anybody on either of those teams that is on Aaron Donald's level of in regards.
Correct.
He might not have a sack of quarterback pressure for the first 3.5 quarters. You're still scared in what he did in Super Bowl. You're still scared if he does break through that triple team that y'all putting on him.
Yeah.
curtains, he'll blow up the whole game. And I don't think anybody else in the league has an Aaron Donald.
No way. This guy's like a diamond in the rough. He's not human.
It's not human. He took his shirt off at the parade. It's like, yo, you gotta get back in the gym. That Joker, he built different.
yeah, exactly.
That's different, bro. That's different.
For a defensive tackle, come on, man. No one's built like that on a defensive line. They might be 300 pounds, but that man's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's like 6'1", 270, 280, but he's solid. Like when you see defensive linemen, offensive linemen, 280, they're like sloppy.
Yeah.
They're big, but they're like not just chiseled. That man's different, man.
Completely different. Many people, music and sports are synonymous. We already mentioned your YouTube channel. Where did your love for music start? You mentioned the Rams, it was 9 years old. When did the love for music start?
So ever since I was little, that's when I feel like it went hand in hand, like you just said. As you already know, like I love sports, right? I love not only talking about sports, I play sports. I've been playing sports my whole life. Growing up, something about music just did something to me. It's one of those things where music transitions into my sports, so it made it that much more comfortable for me to just have a love for it. But it's funny. When I was in high school, I don't know if you're familiar. You remember back in the day when we used to have like LimeWire, where you used to,
yeah.
And
you
know what I'm saying? We used to, unfortunately, illegally get music, right? That was my thing. Like I had that brick of an iPod, and I would just have music on top of music on top of music, and it got to the point. It got to the point where everyone was like, "Yo, Tanner, can you take my iPod and just like put music into it?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Let me get your iPod. I'll give it to you next, like in 2 days." And it was just like from there, it was just like music was just my thing.
That's crazy. You brought back the line. Everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
The real ones know about LimeWire. There's like iPods where you used to be able to put like 10,000 songs on it.
Oh yeah.
We was on LimeWire every night.
Getting viruses, everything. Yeah. Getting corrupt files, not even the song. It's like, yo, it was good times.
You have to go through it, listen to it. Oh no, that's not it. Delete it. Find it.
Yeah, gotta look for it again. Change the name up a little bit.
Exactly, every single time. So 9 years old, Super Bowl, Rams. What were some of the first artists that you listened to that gave you that feeling of like, yo, I love this music thing?
So my all-time favorite artist is 50 Cent. Not a lot of people know that. Because obviously 50's not in the music game anymore, but he's making money elsewhere, right? Get Rich or Die Trying, probably the greatest album of all time, right? I don't know. Once I heard of 50 Cent, I actually listened to the Get Rich or Die album, and I was young, so I had to like tell my mom like, yo, let's go to the CD spot. I want to buy a CD. And I'm under 18, right? So my mom's over here like, oh, it says parental advisory. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Right? Don't worry about it. Just buy me the CD and we'll go from there. I promise. I'm a good person. I'm not gonna listen to this and change my ways, right? And obviously as a parent, they think like that. But I don't like, ever since then, he's just been my favorite artist. And even before that, just music as a whole, it just like, it changes my mood, right? And music, that's what music is great for. If you're upset, you have a genre you could listen to. If you need to be hyped up, you have a genre you can listen to. So no matter what feelings you have something to listen to either get you through it or get you to where you need to be. So I feel like ever since then, once I learned that at a young age, I just been stuck.
Yo, music is definitely powerful in that aspect. That's like, it's really one of the most like powerful forms of entertainment. And it's too funny that that was your artist, because shout out to my homie Ayana. So I was in private school my whole life. Parents only let me listen to the classics, the Luther, the Stevie, and gospel music. That was it. I ain't know nothing about no 50 Cent. The only rap I heard was like Run DMC. So I know the old school rappers. Cool. Ayana Evans put me on Get Rich or Die Trying. My parents wasn't buying it, so she let me borrow the album, and I snuck at home and listened to it on a little Walkman in my bedroom. I'm like, oh, this Tom.
Yeah.
This is my first introduction to like rap music, and it was 50s. I was like, yo, I'm again late on rap music. Even when he was competing with Kanye, I'm like, nah, he gonna blow out Kanye. He gonna outsell Kanye. It didn't work out that way, but I was 50 Cent, A1, day one. You couldn't tell me nothing. Still to this day, that's one of my favorite artists ever was 50 Cent. That was my first one. 50 was the guy, bro. 50 was that.
I feel like if you're just getting into music at that point and you hear that album, it's like if you're not sitting there being like, this album's crazy. And then obviously when you're young, like you don't understand music quite like you do now, right? So you appreciate it that much more now. But back then when you were listening to it, you loved it for the music side of it, right? Like the hype and the grittiness of that album. And it's like when you hear that and it hits you to like the core, and that's what's crazy about music. When it like hits you a certain way, you're like, oh, I think he's my favorite artist. Like this is my first time hearing this entire album. But this is that guy.
Facts. And like you said, going back and listening to it, even more appreciated. The art,
absolutely.
Especially back then, the lyrics, we ain't understand it to the fullest degree as we understand now. The little hints and the little shot. Nah, we ain't understand it back then.
Yeah, nothing.
Now, crazy.
Yeah.
What are some of your other genres that you really enjoy listening to? Like, you of course do hip hop videos, but I even seen you was doing a couple songs that had Spanish in it, and I didn't even know you were Spanish. So, like, what are some other genres that you really rock with?
So, as I've been just telling you, music is music to me, right? So, when I tell you I don't understand Spanish, bro, like there's something. So when it comes to music, you don't have to understand what's being said. If you can feel the music, that's all you really need at the end of the day. Yeah, we listen to these American artists and we understand what they're saying, and then that way we can put lyrics to beats, right? And then that feeling. But if it's weird because like if you listen to another language, for example, in this instance, Spanish music, in my opinion, they're very like, they go off of feeling, like their music is off of feeling. And then they have like lyrics involved, right? And that's my opinion, right? So that's why I feel like I enjoy Spanish music, because I can vibe to it. I can enjoy it regardless if I don't know what they're saying. And I don't know if you've seen like on some of my reactions, I have to put the closed captions because I don't know what they're saying. Right. So, but that helps me not only one, learn, but two, being able to put the lyrics to the music to be able to feel more of what they're actually trying to speak about. So it doesn't matter what language it is. If I rock with it, I rock with it.
Yeah, they're definitely, when you listen to Spanish music, they're very passionate. And that's where I love it in the regards of the sound is always there. The music, the instrument. Yeah. Every now and then I go read the lyrics, like, oh, that's what my man was saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing there. Okay.
Yeah. Same. You have no idea.
Exactly. Same for me with compa. When I listen to some compas, oh my gosh, I don't know what they saying, but when they hit that, I say, oh, there it go.
It's all a feeling, man. It's all a feeling.
What are some of because you're a creator, you're a content creator, you create content. what are some of your inspirations when it comes to the content creation space? And what is some of your inspirations? Twofold question. What is some of your inspiration when it comes to your delivery? Because you don't deliver it and it's just like you're just, oh yeah, this song is good. I like this song. It was great. No, you actually bring some entertainment aspects to it. You bring comedy to it. So what on that aspect, your aspirations for the content creation, and what were some of your inspirations in regards to how you deliver the content?
So for me personally, like, I feel like I'm a very personable person, right? I enjoy talking. I enjoy conversation. Debates, I try not to get into too many debates because, like, you have a different opinion than I do. I don't want you to feel any way towards me because I think differently. You know what I mean? So debates aside, as far as me just being able to express myself, tell you what I do like, what I don't like, how I feel about certain things, I feel like that just one day it's crazy because you obviously, as a person, you always have to be in your sports minded. You understand, you always want to be the best that you can be, right? So, and if you see somebody doing something that you're like, I can do that, but I can do that better. Like one day I was thinking about it and I was like, yo, like, I watch YouTube. You know what I mean? I listen to music. I have my input and I think I have good pointers. You know what I mean? And it was just like, let me try it. What's the worst that could happen, right? If you don't try it, you don't know what comes out of it. And when I first started, it's had its ups and downs, right? Nothing's going to be perfect. It's not going to be, green grass all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to, sometimes it's a slow growth. This is the kind of thing that's a slow growth. And how I see it is there's a lot of people that get into this and they don't push through the obstacles that get thrown their way. Because right now, I'll be completely honest. I'm about to hit 7,000 subscribers. I'm not making money, right? But it's one of those things where you do something that you enjoy doing, that doesn't bother you, right? Mm-hmm. Granted, yes, I have a 9-to-5. I make money elsewhere. It pays my bills. And this is just my hobby, right? I enjoy doing something just like I enjoy playing basketball. It's something that I enjoy doing. Eventually, yes, would I like to do this full time? 110%, because it's something that I enjoy doing. And who likes to be doing an 8-to-5 if it's not your niche, right? Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I feel like I'm the type of person to enjoy expressing myself, and I can't do that on a 9-to-5. I just can't. I'm behind a computer, I'm doing this, hitting guidelines, and call it a day. And then at the end of the day, I'm just like, I know this is not something that I enjoy doing. So you take the leap of faith to get into something that you actually enjoy doing and you have a passion for. Just take it with a grain of salt. It's a slow grower. You're not. I do look at other channels just because from an analytics standpoint, you got to understand that. Oh, what? So you always get in your head. You know what I mean? Like, oh, why do I only have 7,000? Why do these people have 50? And you can't, it's hard to not compare, but you do it, right? It's always going to be in your head. But it's one of those things where you just jump into it. You just rip the Band-Aid off. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, it's something that you enjoy doing. If it's something that you can monetize later on in life and do it full time, I mean, that's the goal, right? Like, you want to eventually do that. As far as your second part of the question, I feel like me being able to explain and express myself on, like, for example, a reaction, right? I don't care if it's music. I don't care if it's, I just started dabbling into beatboxing. You think I know anything about beatboxing? But the family on my YouTube channel, they say, yo, Tanner, I think you would love this. Check it out. All right. I'm going to go check it out. I'm open. I'm an open book. So if you want me to check it out, I'm going to check it out. If it's something that I don't enjoy, you might not like it for me to say, oh, this is not my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. but you got to be able to understand that not everyone's going to like what you like, and vice versa. So me being able to be open and ultimately like show my true colors, because I'm putting myself out there for the world to see, not the United States, not New Jersey, not New York. You know what I mean? The whole entire world has access to my stuff. But understanding that I can potentially, right? I'm a small channel, but potentially get to a point where people either look up to me, enjoy watching my videos, tell me that, yo, Tanner, you made my day, or yo, Tanner, I was having a bad day. You know what I mean? Like your content always makes me happy. That's the kind of stuff that I personally enjoy. And I felt like this was the perfect way to get myself out there. And like I said, it's still fresh. I've been doing it for a year, but I plan on just putting my head down and continuing.
Well, look, you also a good start. A year in.
Appreciate it.
Talking about you about to hit 7K.
Yeah.
You off. All right, and I was looking at some of the numbers. Some of the videos you hit 40K views. Some you doing your thing for sure.
Thank you.
When it comes to the reaction videos, when it comes to the songs, how do you go about, what's your decision process, your thought process when you choose which songs to react to, when you choose whether or not you take on a suggestion from the family, like, hey, go check out beatboxing? How do you go about that process? And like, all right, I'm gonna post this week, I'm gonna use this song. Like, how do you go about that process?
So first and foremost, obviously, as far as the content that as far as the music that I enjoy, that's something that I know exactly what I need to do, right? If one of the artists that I listen to normally drops something, I'm on it. If it's an artist that someone recommends and I have no idea who it is, I'm gonna do my research. Typically what I do is I'll look them up. If they say like, look at this person and this song, like I'll Google them. And if they say rapper, country, Korean artist, beatboxer, that way I know ultimately what the content I'm about to do. Because in my personal opinion, I don't want to just do anything, right? I don't want to just put content out there because, oh, it might be the right thing to do. No, I want to do something that I enjoy. That way that allows me to connect with people. You know what I mean? I don't want to just pull it out the air and be like, oh, you guys like this? Let me check it out. You know what I mean? So there's also, a little caveat to that, right? If it's something that I'm always open, right? So there's been instances where this was early on in my my YouTube journey. One of my boys recommended an artist. And when I tell you, bro, it was nothing I ever expected. I couldn't even tell you what genre it is. It was like hip hop, but the man wasn't saying lyrics. He was making noises as a song. I swear to God, bro. If you want to go check it out, I don't even remember what the artist's name was. I think it was like literally I think his name was 645 AR. If you haven't seen the video, go on my channel, look it up. I swear it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But see, that's the funny part of it. People recommend stuff and you're like, you know what? Let me take a look. And then it's like, where the hell have I been? Like, how have I not heard this? Because this is funny. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. If people give you suggestions, look into it, do an honest reaction. The type of person I am, I don't like to sugarcoat things. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. I'm going to express myself regardless if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not going to belittle anybody. Obviously, that's just not my character, but that's just one of those things where you get suggestions, or YouTube has a crazy algorithm. They'll show you like top trending videos, right? If it's something that I see in a top trending and I want to be able to, like, for example, if it's an artist or something that, whatever, a current event or whatever the case may be, it's something that that I just read the headlines and it interests you. Let me check it out. So that's basically the breakdown of how my mindset goes as far as how like my content is displayed and found.
Makes sense. Makes sense. One piece of advice you would give to content creators.
Don't give up. Like, if you start, don't give up. There's been times. So when I started my YouTube journey, I put it in my head saying, I need to put a video out every single day. That was my goal. A video a day. That allows me to, if I'm busy on a Wednesday and I can't get to making content, I already have something posted. So it's like something that's not delaying my posting, right? But everybody, life is crazy. It's not all peaches and cream, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I started it. And there's been times where I've been, my regular 9 to 5 exhausts me to the point where I just don't want to do anything afterwards. Like, there's times where I don't even have the energy to go to the gym and work out. You know what I mean? So if it's come to that point, if I'm not physically able, I'm not mentally able. And I'm not going to just put something out there that I don't feel is right. So I feel like you're going to run through obstacles. It's a slow grower. And that's what stops people from continuing. They see slow growth and they want overnight success and they just stop. And then everyone's like, God forbid you take a hiatus in the YouTube world. Your followers are going to be like, nah, he doesn't really care. Or he likes to take 3 weeks break, or he likes to take, post every 2 months. Try to be consistent as possible, with an asterisk on the side. I know life is crazy, but be consistent. Don't stop. Just put your head down. If it's something that you enjoy, just keep doing it. Because at the end of the day, look long term. If that's something that you want to do long term, you're not going to give up, right? So that's probably my best piece of advice.
Yo, that's facts. And the thing is, I don't think I've been there, you don't realize people that you watch, people that you support right now, what they didn't just start like that.
Exactly.
I was listening to Jalen Rose podcast with Wallow 267 and Gilly. They was doing, before everybody loved $1 million worth of game. They were doing that for 10, 12 years before it even got to this point.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I think people in this society, we are all at some point guilty of, we want the microwave. We want it to be, again, perfect example. They was doing that same thing that you're doing. Wallow and Gilly started off just doing YouTube videos, not getting no money from it, just giving out game. They just now in the last 2 years are actually getting paid for the work.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I'm watching your page and I see the amount of videos you posted. You mentioned it, like, yeah, you got a 9 to 5, but I tell people all the time that, especially our entrepreneurs that's doing their own thing, the consistency is, the money's going to have to come at some point. It may not be the millions, it may not be the billions, but at some point, you're going to get something out of this because of the hard work and the consistency you're putting into it.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised at any point. Next thing you know, you out in the middle of Maldives Island chilling because Montana done blew up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
But that's exactly that's a good point, because it only takes one. It takes one piece of content that might just go viral. So now your 7K turned to, even if it jumps from 7K to 18K, one piece of content could change your entire life. So take that with a grain of salt. You put your content out. If it clicks, it clicks. If it takes a longer period of time to click, so be it.
Same thing with we'll transition. I'm listening to Corday. Corday decided to really go all in on music.
Yeah.
When one of the videos hit 1 million views, Corday was like, "Oh, I bet I'm really done with college now. I'm not. That's it. I'm out of here." Same exact thing. One of them hit.
Can change your life.
That's the life changer right there. What's next for you? What are some of your goals of how you see this going? Like, what's next for a typical Tanner?
So I think, so like I said, this kind of content stuff is a slow grower. And then if something comes about and it pops, great. But for me, now I have that mindset to say, this is not an overnight success. You got to take the time. You got to put in the work. Nothing comes overnight. End all be all goal. I want to quit my job and I want to just do content 100%. And it's funny because there's like these meme videos all over social media that say, oh, I just quit my 9 to 5 to pursue my entrepreneurship, but I'm working 24/7. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where, yeah, you're working 24/7, or if you're not working your 8-hour shift, you're whatever, 14-hour, it doesn't matter. You're working more, but it's enjoyable, right? You enjoy what you're doing. So people gotta understand that it's something that you enjoy. So eventually my long-term goal is to be 100% a content creator. And if it comes down to the point where, people want to, God willing, you never know, by me doing this YouTube reaction channel, hey, if I can start vlogging eventually, I don't mind that, man. Like, it's something that it's something that I enjoy, just putting myself out there and expressing myself. So if it's something that, people enjoy, why not?
Exactly. As I previously said, though, I don't see that ever being an issue. It's just a matter of when. So I think
it.
Matter of when. Transitioning with the quickness segment, we have it every time we have a guest. It's basically some rapid fire questions, whatever comes to your mind, your personal answers. Don't worry about, if I say this, they gonna drag me. Nope. Just ever your personal answer.
Drag me, it's all right.
First one. What's your go-to meal?
My go-to meal, bro. I'm a big fast food person. My girl makes fun of me all the time. I get Chick-fil-A way too much. I just can't. That spicy chicken sandwich deluxe is top tier. I can't get enough of it. So if I'm hungry, I'm going straight to that.
Chick-fil-A is that spot.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned Chick-fil-A. I gotta ask this from one of my co-hosts, Greg. The Chick-fil-A sandwich or the Popeye sandwich? Which one was better?
Chick-fil-A, 100%. Popeyes, okay, so I'm a big spicy chicken, just spicy lover in general. I love spicy foods. So I can tell you, you put apples to apples together, the deluxe sandwich from Chick-fil-A is hands down better. Reason being, the Popeyes chicken sandwich, the only thing I'll give Popeyes the upper hand is their actual chicken in the sandwich. That piece of chicken is huge. That's the only, and Popeye's chicken is good, right? So that's the only thing I will give the upper hand of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. But it's so bland, bro. They had like 2 pickles and a smear of like spicy sauce. Like, what are you doing? So that's why I give the upper hand to Chick-fil-A 100%.
I'm with you. I'm Chick-fil-A. My man Greg, on the other hand, yo, this is the best sandwich I've ever had. I was like,
he tripping. Greg, you tripping.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Rank them from favorite to least.
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I have all of them, but that's the order for sure.
I've had some people, they like Twitter over Instagram. I'm more Instagram and TikTok, me personally.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for us, for certain people, it's different. For content creators, that's your go-to. Twitter's cool. I feel like for content creators, Twitter becomes an option for communication to be involved. So, for example, on my videos, I have my handles at the top of my videos, right? So I have like my Twitter, my TikTok, my Instagram. My Instagram is more of a personal thing. You want to check out my life? follow my Instagram, see what I'm doing on a daily basis. You want to follow me on TikTok? That's where my content is mostly. And then Twitter's more where you can communicate with me. Like, ask me a question, give me a suggestion, a recommendation, stuff like that. So they have their own areas of what benefits certain people. So I feel like because you and I have that same list, it's because, you know, we're content creators. So it just makes sense.
I think Twitter's just good for personal aspect. Like if you just talking to your people, you saying some wild stuff on there, you Twitter after dark, then cool. If you're just using it for that, cool. But
Twitter's a crazy space, bro. I don't know, man. That's probably one of the reasons why I stay away, because Twitter gets dark quick.
I try to keep Twitter on a minimum because that's probably out of all the apps one of the most toxic places.
1000% agree.
All the apps. The only good thing that Twitter does definitely has over all the apps, though, that's our news cycle for us.
Correct.
You're gonna find out what happened to this musician, to this basketball player, long before ESPN, CNN, Hip Hop DX, before any of them get it. It's gonna be on Twitter first.
You want something trending? Twitter. Go straight there.
Exactly. We knew about Ukraine-Russia war from Twitter. Like that was that started. It broke on Twitter. Like to give context of how Twitter really be breaking news, which is kind of weird. It's really weird to me.
Crazy.
These cycles, CNN, ESPN, Hip Hop DX. You got the Ebro Morning Show. Twitter still has it
undefeated. They undefeated.
We already know. For those that don't know, we have Typical Tanner Gaming, also his YouTube channel. Give me your favorite 3 video games.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. All time or just maybe right now?
Right now.
Okay, so I've been dabbling into. I've been a huge Call of Duty fan. How I feel about Call of Duty right this second is different than how I felt about it a couple months ago. They transition maps, and it's just unsettling for a lot of people, and people don't enjoy it. I'm one of those people, so I play it less now, believe it or not. But I do still enjoy it because I can get online, play with my boys, you know, hear from some of my boys that live in Florida. Some of them live in Houston, so it's more of like a bonding time as well as enjoying playing. So I would say that GTA is fun. I just most recently got into GTA, and I also play that with my boys. GTA is not something that you can play by yourself, honestly. It's you might play it, you'll eventually get bored of it because there's not much to do on your own, and it's fun seeing other users real time with you, especially if it's your boys, so that you know you can mess around with other people. So GTA. This last one's tough because, as you already know, I'm a big football fan, a big basketball fan, but I cannot stand NBA 2K Madden because they do not change anything. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a game.
Bro, that's too funny because this was not a part of my question list at all.
Yeah.
But it just came to me. Specifically, the gaming era, right? Not even talking about Madden and 2K because you already mentioned it. They don't change nothing.
Repetitive, too repetitive.
What do you think about these certain games and gaming companies that don't actually progress the game? Is it because in some instances they don't have viable competition where they feel the need to have to improve the game? What do you think is the factor into that?
I think that's a big thing. I think that's a big thing. There's not who comes out with NBA games, right? 2K. I don't even know. Do they come out with NBA Live anymore? I have no idea.
I've seen they're trying to reboot it, but
they have no competition. Madden, you can't come out with. They used to have back in the day, like a 2K version of Madden.
Yeah.
And those were good. I don't know why they got rid of those, but I think it's one of the things where they don't have competition and they just, hey, we're making money anyways. Why put more money into it? We'll change a little thing. Bro, it's the same thing with Apple users. Apple don't change a thing. And I buy every single new Apple phone. So it's one of those things where it's like you're so used to it and there's no big difference in like change. But for avid sports fans, it could be as little as like that, the updated roster or like the added, maybe, I don't know, some certain aspect of the game that they changed. That might be like, yeah, let me check it out. And then there you go. There's $60 out of your pocket. And that just, think about it, millions of other people doing the same exact thing. I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Because I don't know if you're familiar. There's a game that Call of Duty Warzone, I wouldn't say copied, right? But the whole Warzone aspect, which is like the 100 people in a one game, basically you want to try to be the last man standing. There's a game that was called Players Unknown Battlegrounds, called PUBG. I used to play that before Call of Duty, and that was the original Warzone. The reason it fell off is because they did not put the money into the game. There was faults. It was laggy, rendering issues, just overall issues in the game that would upset you to the point where you're like, I don't want to play this anymore. Call of Duty now came out with a Warzone. No one plays that game anymore. It's all Call of Duty, which is crazy because if you don't stay on top of your stuff, especially video games, you might lose out. But for the NBAs and the Maddens, they're just going to continue doing what they're doing.
I can't wait. Hopefully they bring back Fight Night or all.
Those were fun, man.
I need that back for sure. And yeah, I feel I'm not an avid gamer due to the time that I have spent everywhere. That's stupid thing. We got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I felt like other genres, which is why I tried to get into other genres of gaming. They're always trying to improve something. At least if it's not something major, it's at least, for example, 2 or 3 things. NBA and Madden, they improve, and that's it. If anything, like they're the compilation of iPhone.
Yeah. You
can't tell me the iPhone didn't know 10 years ago how to put a third on there. They just dragging it along. Like they've been knew how to do facial recognition and all that.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox, okay.
I'm a PC user now, though.
PCs, okay.
So I transitioned.
Oh, you a real gamer? Because I know
I'm a real gamer now.
Gamers, they on PC.
Yeah.
You're into basketball. Also, I've seen it. We've played together. Who's your NBA champion this year?
I'm gonna say, all right. So my top 2 teams that I think are gonna win, between Milwaukee and Miami. I feel like those, it's gonna be one of those. Who do I think gets over that hump? I think Milwaukee does it. Because I don't see the teams in the West are good. I like Phoenix. I like Golden State. They're both very good teams. I just don't see something about Milwaukee, man. Something about Milwaukee that they just have some dogs on their team that the heart will get them past whoever they need to play. Like they have that that grittiness, like you're not beating me to the ground. I'm gonna beat you to the ground.
And so they got the chemistry over a lot of these other teams.
That's true.
They added on like 1 or 2 pieces. Everything else is pretty much the same. Giannis, in the regards of a superstar, has no problem going to the free throw line now, unlike some people.
It's a game changer now.
He has no problem. Even if he goes 1 for 5, he's going to shoot the 3, so you have no choice but to respect it.
Yep.
You got the same with Miami. The thing you just mentioned, they both are gritty teams they're built for the playoff time. All right, see me in the playoffs. You're not going. It's going to be a dog fight.
100%.
4 times to beat us 4 times? Oh nah.
Good luck.
Good luck. And if you happen to beat us, we helped out the team you got to face next because we going to drag you.
Exactly.
All 7 games. Who's your MVP?
Ooh. That's a difficult question. Man, I really like what Ja Morant's doing. To be honest with you, I feel like you take Ja Morant out that team, are they as successful? I don't think so. And in this year, he's going crazy. This is like last year he was doing well, but this year is like on a whole nother level. He's just plateaued to a different level. I feel like you have to, especially if he gets his team to a certain level. I think stats wise, how he's just carrying his team. I think you have to give it to him.
I think I'm rocking with Ja Morant. If they end up in a top 4, top 3 team, guarantee you have to give him in the West. And I throw in the mix too. I don't think he's going to get it. But another player, like you said, that's been carrying the team, and I don't know if they're as successful if he's not on the team. DeMar DeRozan in Chicago has reinvigorated himself.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy. Because they tried to experiment. Zach and Vucevic was there last year to end off the year. It wasn't much that came from that.
Yeah.
You had DeMar to that team. Of course, Lonzo helps, Caruso, which is why I think Ja Morant gets it, though, because he got less help over there.
Correct.
Who's his number 2? Like a legit number 2.
Yeah.
Jaren played well, yes. Desmond Bane is shooting the 3 well, yes.
But you don't have a legitimate 2.
Exactly. So Ja Morant is built completely different.
I think so. I agree.
Does LeBron James retire as a Cavalier?
Wow. I could see it happening. I could see that's a tough question because I feel like he feels so at home in LA, but Cleveland is his home, right? So I feel like to end his career, I see that. I wouldn't put it past him for that to happen, because who doesn't want to retire from their hometown where they just created themselves? So I see it happen. You see a lot of football players doing that, taking a 1-day contract, or NBA players taking a 1-day contract or 10-day contract, retiring, not even playing a snap. You know what I mean? Like just to say I retired as a Cavalier. I wouldn't put it past. I think he would do it.
I think so too, and I think he'll actually play a couple games, really, honestly, because they draft Bronny. Bron already said, I'm going back. And I think even though he's doing his thing, I still think he wants one more ring at least.
Oh, 100%.
How them Lakers looking?
Not getting
ain't no ring coming there before you retire, my boy. So please, for the sake of those that love you, LeBron, get out while you can, my boy. And Cleveland has a better mix. Way better.
But who do you give up to get LeBron is the question. They're going to have to give up a lot of pieces. Pieces.
I'm hoping he's able to, because I'm pretty sure it's tough on him with how the season is going. If he could hold out one more year and then go on free agency, that would be best, because we've seen LeBron mess up the chemistry and the team. The Lakers were able to keep and didn't have to trade the young pieces for Anthony Davis. I think we're talking about a different Lakers team.
Correct.
If he actually wants to win, just wait one more year and then go to whatever team, even if it's not Cleveland, go to whatever team and free agency. That way you keep the structure of the team.
That makes
sense. They trade a Darius Garland, if they trade Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. Forget it. You're going back to the same thing.
What I'm
And
saying.
you're getting older. You're as good as you are, as great as you are.
You need the youth.
Exactly. You need that.
Yeah.
5 people should tap in with that they might not know about.
Say that again. You broke up in the first part of it.
5 artists that people should tap in with that they may not know about. Any genre.
Let's see. So the one person that comes to mind in the hip hop game that I was put on when I started YouTube, had no idea who this man was. Well, 2. I got put on to 2, and they're in the same, I wouldn't say group, but there's a artist called One Take Timmy. Never heard of him, never knew anything about him. And I was doing a reaction. I got a recommendation for someone to be like, yo, Tanner, check out One Take Timmy. You like bars? Go check him out. His whole entire songs are filled with bars. It's like, One Take Timmy. Never heard of him. I looked him up, did my very first reaction to him. When I tell you, bro, you don't see artists like that anymore. That can, like, every verse he has multiple bars in them, and you're just like, did he just say that? Like, he's an artist that catches you off guard, because let's be real, the artists right now, mainstream artists, they're cool, but come on, lyrics wise, bro, there's no one out there. There's no one out there like the Joiners, like the old school M's. You know what I mean? So just to have that breath of fresh air of people that actually come out here with the lyrics, I feel like that's, and believe it or not, I think he only has like 20,000 subscribers, something small. So he's definitely an artist that I think over time he's going to blow up. That's probably my number 1. As far as other artists that I feel like the artists that a couple of years ago that I was listening to that now are big and popping, I don't necessarily know artists right this second that I can say, like, go check them out. They're new. They're going to pop. Yeah. Right. But as far as artists, like when I used to listen to Giveon a couple of years ago, and I was like, yo, Giveon's tough. Give him a couple of years. Right. Giveon was definitely one of those artists. One Take Timmy, obviously, right now is one of the artists that I would say, if you're a big hip hop fan, lyric fan, go check him out. And I also got put onto Montana of 300 when I started my YouTube journey, but he's been out for a while, so I had no idea who he was. So that's definitely an artist. You probably heard of him, but if you haven't, go check him out. If you guys are definitely into lyrics, those are probably the top 2 guys that I would say go there, but be ready to listen, because you'll miss a lot. But those, I would say, as far as 2 people go, those are the top 2 that you guys should go check out if you don't know who they are.
Last one before we get you out of here. We have no desire to go back to this, but if you are in quarantine, right? 3 movies or shows that you are watching or repeat. 3 movies or shows that you just got on repeat. No problem. You can watch it over and over and over.
All right. I'm not a big show person. I'm a big movie person, but there is one show that I watched, and when I tell you I binge watched until I finished it, Breaking Bad. It's funny because movies do more for me than shows do. Mm-hmm. So this whole Netflix thing, like, I was never a big Netflix person because it's like their movies are okay, but their shows are great. So probably like 5-6 years ago, I dabbled into Breaking Bad, and when I tell you I was hooked, I'm sure everyone's seen Breaking Bad. It's like one of the greatest shows ever. So that's the one show that I would definitely rewatch and I wouldn't get sick of. As far as movies go, big iRobot fan. iRobot's a good movie. From start to finish, it's always got it's got you always thinking, and you want to know what's going to happen next. iRobot's one movie that I would say I would continue to rewatch. I'm trying to think of my third. I can't think of a third right now. But if you go through your list, I want to know what your top 3 is. Because you might be like, because I feel like we have a similar liking, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's something good that I would watch again.
Nah, Breaking Bad. My wife put me onto that.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. Nah, that Breaking Bad.
Crazy.
All time top great favorite. Even when we polls, I be looking confused when people don't be voting Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
that crazy. It be hurting my heart seeing that. I'm gonna probably throw in some comedy because you got 2 good options right there. I'm gonna probably throw in some comedy in mine. I'm gonna either throw as the last one Chappelle Show or the Boondocks.
Okay, I'm a big Chappelle Show fan.
If I'm in quarantine, I want something I'm gonna think about, something that's gonna keep me locked in.
Make you
laugh because I'm in quarantine. I ain't got nothing else. I can't go outside. Give me something to laugh. Chappelle Show.
It'll get you through it for sure. Chappelle Show. Man, yeah, Chappelle Show's good. I wish Chappelle didn't fall off the face of the earth for a couple of years for him to continue, because dude, his shows were so funny. Yeah. I just wish he whatever space he was in, he just, was continuing his hilarious shows. But dude, that every little episode that he comes out with, you will not laugh. You're gonna laugh every single episode that he comes out with. And that's tough to do.
And it, like you said, everybody's laughing too. Every single person in the room is. And the thing that's crazy is like what you said with music. Watching it now, going back on it, it just you appreciate, bro, the artistry and how he made stuff happen. And
absolutely,
before his time, the skits like that, from that you get Key and Peele, which isn't as good as Chappelle Show in my opinion, but
agreed.
During that time, I wasn't old enough to understand it, but during that time, that was groundbreaking content out there, like.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, from what I remember, I didn't see anybody else doing what he was doing at that time.
And everything that came after it, all the shows we have, all the skit shows, even we got the new shows that try to add comedy into it with Trevor Noah, like.
It's just not the same.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
Well, yo, appreciate you for hopping on. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hop on with us. Again, Typical Tanner on YouTube. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Y'all check them out. Typical Tanner, check them out. Especially if you're into video games, check that out too. But y'all know the vibes. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Bench Mob, we out. Peace.